And if the heretics come for our lives, we will stand firm. So you got me, you damned heretics. Artyom, jump!
Welcome to Logitech G at E3. I'm back with Louise, who's been playing Metro Exodus, the continuation of 4A Games' cerebral first-person shooter. Louise, what did you make of it?
Well, the first thing I think I have to say is it's gorgeous. I mean, the apocalypse has never looked this good. And previous Metro games have very much been underground because the land is irradiated. It's not particularly nice. There's been nuclear, everything. So you really don't want to go outside, and being in the tunnels is the best way. However, what we've got here is you arrive at the very beginning. I played from the start. So I played about 25-30 minutes from the very beginning of the game. So you arrive with... You're literally just trying to succeed up there, and you've got Artyom who's arriving on a train that is, you've stopped, there's people ahead, you need to head to a church to find out what's going on because, humanity is still existing. And what I played, you got to a church, and this isn't really a spoiler, it's the very beginning. You got to a church and you thought, hey, these people might be friendly. They're really not friendly. They're really not friendly. You sail a boat into the church, which is like, this doesn't feel particularly good, but look at the nice snow effect. And you go in and there's a preacher preaching about how technology is a bad thing. So humanity is really, it's grim on Earth, really. Everyone has gone a bit mad. The people that are left are clearly feeling, they're not in good places. Why would you be? But you get sort of locked into this house and you then have to escape, and people chase you. Well, not chase you with guns, and they hunt you. And I think this is not a run and gun game. This will not reward you for running and gunning. This is a smart game. I played it a little differently in the fact that I got seen and someone shot me. So the next time I went in, I shot them back. And then I shot the next person and the next person and the next person. And the interesting thing was, I heard them put down their guns. I came into a room and they put their arms up and they very slowly put down their guns. And that's because Metro Exodus, just like previous Metro games, has a very strong karma system. So although those people were out to get me, if I had spared them and sneaked around, and even there was quite an interesting bit where there was tin cans hanging on strings that you had to cut. So there was an option when I got there that said, cut me. Instead, I was running. So I ran through the swinging tin cans. But even when I left the church, my colleague said, well, you shed some blood. They're really not going to like us now, but come on this way. The next thing I knew, I was back on my boat going along, and it's not always not well on Earth. While you have been underground, turns out the animals, it's not just cats and dogs anymore. You have enormous mutated creatures, and I was hunted down by an enormous thing that looked like a crocodile crossed with a megalodon that just fastened itself onto the front of my boat. And it did a very good job in half an hour of creating a grim, miserable world. And it's in a good way, in a way that we all want. And what Metro Exodus has added is it's still a single player, linear experience, but it does have open world elements. So I didn't get to experience many of these, although there's plenty of places to explore. You've got crafting now, so you get given a backpack on your way off the train, and it says it's not full of crafting ingredients, you're going to have to craft them. So you head out and you have to pick up lots of bits so that you're crafting. So it's pushing more of a survival crafting aspect, although you can feel that there's a very dynamic story going on there, and it is controlled by your actions, but you are encouraged to explore each of the areas. I mean, I headed onto a bus and I found some unfortunate radiation victims and found some stuff on their bodies. Sorry, but it does open things up, and it will be interesting to see how that progresses. Really, I feel like I didn't get to grips with as much of it as I would have liked. It's definitely not something to surface skim. It's something to really dive into and play. But it is an intriguing world. It's a beautiful world. It's a harsh world, and it's a world where your choices matter. And all of those things make me want to play more.
Cool. Sounds like a really interesting twist on the classic FPS. Last question to ask, as always, Louise. When is it out?
Well, the kind of good news is that it's not out this year, so you can get this year's games out of the way. It's out on February 22nd, 2019.
Fantastic stuff. Please give us a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to Logitech G for what little remains of E3 2018.